There are a number of different spacing options that you can modify to get the placement of the content on your pages just the way you'd like. So I'll go through a couple of examples here. For each app, you can apply different spacing options to the top, bottom, left, and right in most cases. So for example, let's say we wanted to move the navigation bar down. We could go down to the style editing panel here by clicking on the dot. We could scroll down and you'll see there's a couple different options here: left, right spacing, top, bottom spacing. So you can either play with the numbers here to adjust it, again, to get it to where you'd like. So let's say we make that 10. You'll see the navigation links move over. We can make that 15 and so forth, and you can kind of see the different, whichever app you're modifying, get nudged as you make those changes. Or you can also just use the slider here to kind of slide it to the place that you'd like. And again, you can kind of just play with the spacing there until you get it right. So you can do that per app. You can also do that for clusters of apps, which are usually grouped by a column. So for instance, here we have a couple of apps here in this left column. It's the tricky part, which we're going to keep refining, is just finding the right dot. You see if we roll over this dot here, it outlines the entire column, so we could go in there and you'll see some spacing options that you can modify. Again, same thing, left, right spacing, top, bottom spacing. So if we wanted to put a little bit more padding or spacing to the top, we could make that 10. You'll see everything moves down, not just the top app. Again, if we wanted to modify the left-right spacing, you'll see both apps move over. So you can do that for an entire column or an individual app in most cases. And furthermore, you can do it for an entire what we call zone. So you have the columns, which kind of clusters the apps, you have the individual apps, and then you have the entire zone, which is kind of this big dot here. So if we roll over this big one, it outlines the entire kind of horizontal zone there. So again, we can go in there and it'll adjust the spacing for that entire section. Again, the top header is a zone, the main section there. These are different zones of the layout. So here the options are a little bit different, but still get the idea. You have the top, padding on the top, padding on the bottom. So we could add a little bit more space there. See everything kind of bump down, or we can make that 0 again, or play with the sliders. It's pretty straightforward. So the trick is just to get comfortable with those, and to set them on whichever basis you need to for the right amount of spacing. Sometimes it's an individual app. Sometimes you want to grab the whole column. Sometimes you want to adjust the spacing top and bottom for the whole zone. So I hope that was helpful. Let us know if you have any questions.